Tell me a little bit about that fear of rediscovering yourself. What did you fear mostly?
Well, I didn't really. I feared it, but I guess I was just over it. Over the withdrawals, over the chasing, over the putting myself in precarious situations. You know, like the dangers of getting using drugs now and getting drugs is just like at any moment I could use to get drugs or go get drugs. I could be arrested, I could be hurt, I could be I could kill, I could die, basically, like, especially using large amounts of drugs too. It's dangerous, and I've got to really, really, that's the fear, I guess, that's the fear, I guess, of what I was putting myself into. Like, I just take so many drugs and put myself out there on the street, and anything could happen. And then that's what what I realized. It's time to really knuckle down and move on, and get on this journey, and put myself out there for anyone to see and help, because I know a lot of people are going through what I'm going through.
Yeah, I could imagine, because, like, for example, addiction is completely different than having like post-traumatic stress disorder,
Yeah,
because obviously there's more chemical reactions in your body, especially in
yeah,
your brain and your hypothalamus, right?
yeah,
Uh, and to withdraw, exercising is so much an essential key,
mm,
because it produces it's almost like it transforms the dopamine that you were produced by the substance abuse, but you have to like create a new drug for your brain, which is, and a strong drug is exercise. You mentioned how exercise revigorates you. Um, where do, like, for example, when you work out, what is that sensation you get that is different from abusing drugs?
yeah. So I guess it's an overall fulfillment of, like, doing well, doing good, pushing yourself to the limit, and I guess, I don't know, like, just an overall sense of accomplishing something when you get it done. For example, with the push-ups, like, I was doing a lot of push-ups, and so you get down on the floor and you get down and you get them done, and I guess that right there is, pushing yourself to the limit and getting it done, and yeah, a sense of accomplishment, really.
Interesting.
which is
Interesting.
which is like the same as having, like, a hit of drugs, like, you know what I mean. So you have the drug and you're like, oh, relief. Like, it's like the same sort of thing when you get the exercise done, and when you get something done, it's like, it's a sense of accomplishment, a sense of relief.
I'll let my partners go on the next journey.
Yeah, yeah,
I know that sometimes it's like when going when having the withdrawals and having the things that lead up to like weaning off of it,
yeah,
um, thoughts come in where it's like, oh, just like what if I just take one more, or things like that, right? Um,
yeah,
and that's like some of like the hardest parts to get through. Like the mental barrier is maybe like physically it's like totally done, but like mentally it's like how do I get through that mental barrier of like, no, I got to push myself outside of it, or I got
yeah.
to lock this up in this drawer, make it just like a little harder to even get to it. Like how was that mental barrier to yourself, and how do you overcome that mental barrier, and knowing it's like still probably like still there a little bit, how do you even still do it on till this day? Like exercising is great, um
Yeah.
and
I
it's really
guess, I guess it's taking every moment of, like, every moment, every minute. Sometimes it comes down to, like, and I've got to I've got to instill that fear in myself of, like, if I do, go back and stuff like that, that this is what could happen. And I guess it's just taking each moment of each day, each hour, each times, because the things that I've been through, you know, like I don't want to go back to those times, but I should be proud of myself to getting through what I've been through, especially, and be here today to, you know, be in this position where I'm in an environment where I can, you know, keep pushing and keep going forward.
Yeah, it's like there's a blessing, a curse with it, because then you live like every moment really like intentionally. You get to live in the moment, right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes days just go by in a sense, and like sometimes it's like the struggle makes you live in the day and makes
Yeah.
you live a little bit more throughout the day rather than it just going by. So it's like a there's a blessing and there's curses within the blessings. It's always like a up and down into it. Yeah, because like you just live every minute like kind of like the fight, but it's intentional, right? It's an intentional thing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it is a fight every single day. And then I think that's something I'll have to live with for a long time. You know, I mean, you especially if you go to like NA rooms and all Alcoholics Anonymous, you see people that are in there that are clean for years and they're still going through um, the fight every single day. You know, it's not just me; it's every addict.
How was it finding the support groups? Like was it help?
Well, well, to be honest, I don't really engage in those groups. Uh, it's I've been in them, I've been out of them. I went through when I went through rehab 6 years ago. I didn't commit fully to the rehab, but I was engaging in the rooms then, and I still have tried. But to me, it's actually a very controversial subject. Whether you're in the rooms or whether you're not, whether you're for it or whether you're not, and it's probably not something I probably really would touch on because viewers or people may or may not really disagree with what I probably should say about them. But for me personally, I find them just a little bit too much.
Hmm.
It's the same sort of thing each time. It is positive. It is positive to reconnect with people and to hear people's story and journey. And it does work for a lot of people. But for me, I believe everyone's journey is different. And for me, the rooms and connecting and that sort of stuff, it's not, especially in my hometown now, it's quite small. But once again, it does work for a lot of people. So I'll leave it on that one there.